kehadirannya dan meluangkan masa untuk perkongsian ilmu ini. The title is Role of Annexin A1 in Cancer. Outline yang akan saya presentkan adalah highlight tumor immunity dahulu, kemudian Annexin Family, Annexin A1, and also role of Annexin A1 in cancer, because the relation is very close with the immunity, tumor immunity. Now we go to the tumor immunity. Actually, in the normal condition or in the healthy condition, cell growth and cell death are normally imbalanced. But in cancer condition, cell have unregulated rate of the cell growth and invade healthy tissue. This condition, actually our body have some gene that regulate this condition. Example, this is the list of the gene. Even in the normal condition, in the healthy condition, we have the stimulator of cell division, inhibitor of cell division or tumor suppressor, and also we have the gene that regulate the apoptosis. So in the cancer condition, this gene, some gene are muted. So you can see here, this gene actually will produce the protein. Finally, they will produce the protein. If the gene are mutated, so they will produce the abnormal protein also. So this protein we call as tumor antigen because they produced by the mutate gene. Tumor antigens is the protein are expressed in the surface of the cell, and they often as a target of the immune response, immune responses. So this is just example, the gene that produce the cancer antigen. Actually, a lot of another gene. In general, the tumor antigen we can divide by two. The first one is tumor-specific transplantation antigen, or we call as the TSTA antigen. This antigen is specific for the tumor cell, not found in the normal cell. But the second one, tumor-associated transplantation antigen, or TATA, this is not unique for the tumor cell. It means in the normal cell also we have this antigen. Example, in the breast cancer, we have GFR, growth factor receptor. But in the tumor cell, the number is higher. There also another gene that produce also the marker we call oncofetal antigen. This is also exists in the tumor cell and also in the normal fetal cell. So our immune system actually have the mechanism to identify whether the cell is normal or the cell is abnormal. So this system, they will see, oh, this is abnormal, detected, and they will kill this abnormal cell. And if the abnormal cell can save or selamat, so it means the cell can escape from the immune system. So annexin actually one of the system for identify whether there is a normal or abnormal cell. So this is the abnormal cell, undetectable abnormal cell. They will express as a cancer or tumor cell. Now, how our immune respond against this condition? In the normal condition, the normal condition here, our cell will express the MHC protein class 1. This protein as a marker in the surface of the cell. And then, if, let's say, this is a cell cancer, this molecule, because this molecule MSC as an antigen, they will be recognized by the immune system. They try to suppress the production of this MSC cell, and when they decrease the number, they transform, they decrease the number, but still they can express another protein we call as stress molecule in surface of the cell cancer. So we have an NK cell that have a receptor, killer activation receptor and killer inhibition receptor. So this activation receptor will bind to the stress molecule, and after that they will kill the tumor cell, and after the tumor cell die, the inhibitor receptor will stop the process, and the cell cancer will die. Now we have also some cytokine that active to kill the tumor cancer. Example, the cytokine produced by the macrophages. Example, tumor necrosis factor. They will cause the cell cancer become apoptosis and also necrosis. Another cytokine is interferon alpha, beta, and gamma, produced by the macrophages also. This interferon will induce the expression of the MSC1 molecule in the surface. So this cell become more sensitive or susceptible to the cell. So this is the mechanism of our body. And then another mechanism, we have the adaptive immune response. That adaptive immune response will develop if our immune system already recognized that there is a abnormal cell, and this cell already present the cancer antigen in the surface. So our body will produce antibody and bind to the antigen, and then T helper will stimulate the macrophages, and macrophages will engulf or phagocyte the cell tumor because they have the receptor FC, will bind to the FC part of antibody, and after that phagocyte the cell. So it means the antibody is facilitated to phagocytosis process. Another thing, the T cell cytotoxic CD8, they also active and they kill directly to the tumor cell, just with the contact directly and secrete the toxin. Now, the cancer cell is very, very smart how to escape the immune system. The first mechanism passed by the antigen modulation. So because the antigen is the the protein that will bind to, with the immune system, they try to the antigen is the TSTA, yes, present in the surface, and antibody will bind to this antigen, and they try to decrease the production, the antigen. So antibody cannot recognize anymore. At the time, antibody can bind, and after that eliminated by the body. When the antibody finish, no more antibody, so they start produce again. So this is the antigen modulation mechanism. And another mechanism, they decrease the production of MSC molecule. See here, until no more MSC is MSC molecule decrease, it means antigen cancer also no produce, yeah? And T cell cannot recognize anymore, the cell become safe, but we have backup. the NK cell very can recognize easily and become susceptible to NK cell. This is the normal condition. Yeah, still they are. Now we have the cancer immunotherapy. How because this immune system that you can explore become drug. So the possible patient will be given cytokine TNF alpha or interferon gamma and activate the immune system. The second one, we give the antibody, anti-cancer antigen that produced outside, and we inject directly the antibody against this antigen. This is the brief of the immune system. Just now we already explained that annexin is one of the system, part of the immune system that control or regulate against the cancer cell. So now we have the family of annexin. Actually, annexin is a big family, superfamily, consists of 13 subfamily. This molecule bind easily with calcium or calcium and phospholipid protein, binding protein. The variation between them around 40 until 60%. This annexin family have the function is physical trafficking, cell division, apoptosis, calcium signaling, and growth regulation. So between 13 subfamily, only this annexin that already recognize the function. The first one, example, annexin A1, they have a function signal transduction, cell differentiation, proliferation, and also tumor invasion. Annexin A2, tumor invasion, metastasis, and angiogenesis. A3, angiogenesis. A4, tumor invasion and resistance. A5, this one, apoptosis. Actually, this protein, they can bind easily or have the high affinity with phosphatidylserine receptor. Phosphatidylserine receptor will expose in front of the cell if the cell in apoptosis condition. That's why annexin A5 we use as a dye for the apoptosis method determination. So annexin A5 will bind to the surface of the cell apoptosis and they bind with the propadium iodide like that, the dye lah, ya. So we can identify whether the cell is under apoptosis. So this is the another annexin and with the function, yeah. And now this is the table about the type of annexin, and this is the chromosome location, and this is the molecular mass is in kilodalton. And I think this is already established all the structure for 13 annexin and also the chromosome location. And now this is the annexin and their expression in specific type of cancer. So between the annexin itself, there is a variation, yeah, in the expression in the different cancer. Now I want to also until annexin 13, A13, yeah, they have a specific marker in the certain tumor type, and now we want to focus to annexin A1. So it means still a lot of study we have to do because a lot of annexin subfamily. Now we go to the annexin A1. This molecule actually first described in late 1970. It's still new. Not a lot of research doing for this molecule. Before, the name is marcocortin, renocortin, lipomodulin, lipocortin 1, and the latest one is annexin 1 or annexin A1. This is the protein with molecular mass 37 kilodalton. There is evidence that indicate the change in annexin A1 expression in their subcellular localization contribute to the development and progression of cancer. Also annexin A1 involved in the cell signaling pathway. Annexin A1 also regulates the cell proliferation, differentiation, and also apoptosis. In the literature, they write that annexin A1 is undetectable in plasma, but found in many cells or tissue, example lung, bone marrow, intestine, at the concentration 50 until the highest one, 150 nanogram per milliliter. But this is depend on the method that we use. Actually, if we use the ELISA method, they are very sensitive and maybe they can detect in the plasma. Yeah. Now, what is the annexin A1 property? So before we already know this is a protein binding to acidic phospholipid in the membrane. They have the endogenous anti-inflammatory effect. They also down-regulated of the COX-2 enzyme and also phospholipase A2. That's why this is the anti-inflammatory effect. Now, this is the blue color is the effect related with the cancer. Inhibit cell growth, induce cell apoptosis, inhibit cell proliferation, facilitate phagocytosis. So now we will focus to this effect, the property related with cancer. Now, role the annexin A1 in cancer, especially it inhibits cell growth and differentiation, also proliferation. So here there is a data actually. Data suggests that annexin A1 has the tumor suppressor function to inhibit proliferation. How the mechanism happen? They can inhibit the proliferation. So actually annexin A1 is a major substrate of GFR, growth factor receptor. So when they bind to the growth factor receptor, because the affinity higher, so the growth factor itself cannot bind. So they will stop the process of growth of the cancer cell. So growth and proliferation of lung cancer was already approved. Yeah. And also annexin A1 has the anti-proliferative activity in macrophages due activation of MAPK, ARK pathway, and also there is a link with the phosphorylation by growth factor itself. So it means how the annexin A1 can inhibit the growth because they compete with the growth factor, bind to the receptor, and then they will stop the process growth and differentiation and also proliferation. Now the second one, induce cell apoptosis. In the data, they showed that overexpression of annexin A1 in monocyte cell enhance apoptosis induced by TNF and etoposide. Yeah? So it means the NF-alpha, they have the effect induce necrosis and apoptosis. When annexin A1 increase the expression, they will increase the apoptosis process. Yeah? And also they increase or make more efficient the drug. And then when we transfect the annexin A1, we silence the gene of annexin A1, until 70% they become increase the apoptosis, and cell death for 5 days in experiment. And then the data also showed that expression of annexin A1 affect the caspase 3 activation and also calcium release. So endogenous annexin A1 induce neutrophil apoptosis through intracellular calcium release, the phosphorylation of BAD, followed by the associate with the mitochondria. So this is the mechanism of the apoptosis for annexin A1. Now, how the third effect, the facilitate of phagocytosis. Annexin A1 has implicated in the apoptosis cell. When there is an apoptosis cell, annexin 1 will bind to the receptor phosphatidylserine, and then give the signal eat me signal, and will call the macrophage to phagocyte this cell. The specific eat me signal of the apoptosis cell, this is serve the marker to phagocyte the cell apoptosis or cancer, this one. So the exposure of the phosphatidylserine, this is like a marker when cell under apoptosis they will expose or express this phosphatidylserine. And then this is also the first, the major mechanism how the annexin increase the phagocytosis process. And then the experiment also they try supporting by the finding this also silent the gene of annexin A1, and then express the decrease the process of engulfment the cell apoptosis. So this is proof that annexin A1 increase the facilitate the process of phagocytosis. Now about the annexin A1 related with drug resistance. This is actually is not clear the mechanism, because example this is transfection annexin A1 of drug sensitive of cancer cell can give cell become resistant to adriamycin and etoposide. And similar also the result from study when annexin A1 mechanism in the drug treated cell treated by doxorubicin and etoposide, they also show the resistance to this drug. And yes, annexin A1 overexpression. So it means it cannot generalize because transfection also induce the resistance. Overexpression also induce the resistance. So that's why I said that the mechanism with annexin 1 contribute in the drug resistance is not fully understood. So maybe we need also study for that. Okay, so annexin A1 level were constitutively higher in TNF resistant cell compared to the sensitive to TNF. So this mechanism like a possible as mechanism escape to the immune system. So annexin also can use become, you can see here, use as if the annexin high, but they still cannot kill the cancer cell, or the cancer cell still there. It means there is a mechanism escape to the immune system. Now, as a summary, if you see here, the first one, the effect of the annexin in the cell, here they as an anti-inflammatory, antipyretic, and also anti-hyperanalgesic, by inhibit the enzyme COX-2 and also phospholipase S2, phospholipase A2. Sorry, yeah. This enzyme actually very strong to produce prostaglandin. Why? Because annexin is the protein inducible by glucocorticoid. Why glucocorticoid have the anti-inflammatory very strong? Because they act double. First, they stop or they directly as an anti-inflammatory. The second, they induce annexin, and annexin have a very strong anti-inflammatory. The second one, annexin, they inhibit the addition of the cell to the endothelium. This is the white blood cell. Yeah? So this can cause the decrease or inhibit the taxis the movement of cell, white blood cell. The second one, if the annexin give from outside, it means another cell produce the annexin, and annexin come and will bind to this receptor. This is the receptor for annexin itself, and then they will continue as the reaction that can cause the anti-inflammatory, produce the anti-inflammatory effect. The second one, glucocorticoid. Glucocorticoid, if they bind and into the cell, they will bind to the receptor glucocorticoid and induce the production of annexin. And annexin, they have the effect, yeah, just now we already discussed, they will go to the phosphatidylserine, yeah, bind to the phosphatidylserine, and they give the signal eat me to the macrophages. Or it's possible they bind to the BAD protein that coded by the BAD gene and interfere in the mitochondria. And possible annexin also go to the nucleus and induce apoptosis. This process will be blocked by the BCL2 protein or gene, yeah, to stop, because this gene is induced, block anti-apoptosis. Okay? And the next is annexin will bind to the receptor of growth factor and inhibit the proliferation or growth process. Inhibit proliferation. So this is the effect of annexin in the cancer cell. Now, significance of annexin A1 in cancer. Annexin A1 may have important regulatory role in tumor development and progression, because they have regulatory or observe or surveillance, yeah, whether there is an abnormal cell or not in the body. And the second one, the best, based on the evidence, the observation, the expression another annexin, between annexin A1 and annexin A2 are reduced in certain cancer and also increase in other cancer type. Yeah, example here, annexin upregulation in tumor, hepatocellular carcinoma, colorectal cancer, lung cancer, pancreatic cancer, melanoma, skin cancer. Yeah. This is happen upregulation. But there is also some cancer downregulation. Prostate cancer, this one, the downregulation of annexin. Some cancer, they have both. Sometimes upregulation, sometimes downregulation. Especially this cancer, if the cancer have subtype. Example, breast cancer, there is a positive estrogen receptor cancer, there is a negative receptor, estrogen receptor. Leukemia, there is type of leukemia, type different of leukemia. So some of type the upregulation, some of downregulation. So this one make more complex about the annexin. It's not as simple or easy. Oh, maybe because down regulation, so cancer become the flop. Yeah, it's not like that actually. So as a conclusion, annexin gene show high frequency of loss in specific type of cancer. So because of that, suggesting that annexin A1 may as a tumor suppressor gene. From the start, we already learned about the effect. All these things actually, annexin A1 is suppress the cell cancer or kill the cell cancer. Yeah? The second one, annexin A1 level were upregulated in specific type of cancer and in the NF-resistant cell. It was like a possible mechanism for evading or escape the immune surveillance. So the cancer, like person that iodine deficient, example, they need take the iodium using thyroglobulin, isn't it? When deficient iodium, so body will produce the thyroglobulin more to catch the iodium, but finally they cannot find, and thyroglobulin become abundant. Yeah. So I think it's possible they try to escape the immune system, but so body will increase or the cell increase the production of annexin A1, but we don't know yet. This is need to prove actually what happened in the upregulation of annexin in certain cancer. Yeah? So we need the mechanistic study, yeah, to regarding the change of the annexin expression associated with tumor function. Example, tumor cell motility or metastasis stage, yeah, and also drug resistance related with the annexin. So I think still a lot of research we can do, and the publication also still limited about this topic, this annexin. Okay, this is the reference that I use for preparation. Thank you so much for your.
Okay, ada apa nak tanya, nak berkolaborasi? Wena banyak geran.
Potential to the clinical. Okay, thank you Anis for the question. For the clinical, actually, nak cerita dulu sejarah ya. Pada masa dulu belum dikenal this molecule, orang hanya tampak pada condition inflammation, pneumonia, dia ambil liquid lung and detect, oh annexinnya rendah compared to the normal. So in the condition of inflammation, annexin always low. So until that, so researchers think how if we use the annexin as a drug, just give the annexin to especially for the chronic inflammatory yang tak sembuh-sembuh inflammation, so bagi dia annexin supaya dia sembuh. Tapi a lot of cabaran karena dia protein, stability, formulation, all these things, so still tak boleh digunakan lah tu. Yeah? So now finally, oh there is a role for the cancer. So a lot of until now we don't know actually why in the cancer, certain cancer they upregulated. And why they downregulated? And maybe in the first stage, bagaimana annexinnya? Kita pun belum tahu. So actually, no physician also not give the attention about annexin this one. Until now, there is like drug resistant. Drug resistant dia coba kaitkan dengan annexin level expression. Apakah ada kaitannya tak ya drug resistant ni? Tapi kalau tadi TNF tu ternyata tampaklah bahwa annexin ini adalah increase the annexin is one mechanism to escape the immune system. So actually nih masih banyak peluang untuk belum digunakan dalam klinikal about the annexin level nih untuk cancer, certain cancer. Type of cancer also very different respond. Cell cancer memang sangat smart ya, dia berusaha untuk escape. This one.
Tapi Bu, kalau kan dia ada kanser yang dia tak ada dikatakan katakanlah dari kita satu nak regulate untuk adakah akan meningkatkan risiko kaum kanser yang satu lagi yang biasanya dia di mulut?
Itu belum ada data yang tahu hal itu. Kita hanya kata ada ground inside. Until there is pada cancer tertentu annexin inside of nucleus, what did they do actually? So tak tahu lagi. Tetapi sekarang kalau kita tengok kalau kondisi down regulated, low annexin also increase the possibility cancer because surveillance tak bekerja kan, tak boleh detect, so kemungkinan besar. So kita coba untuk increasekan annexin sampai ke level normal sahaja untuk prevention. Untuk prevention supaya jangan sampai kurang detection lah. Tuh. Nah, tapi kalau yang sudah terlanjur tinggi ini, kita pun belum tahu apa yang nak kita buat. Ya. Sekarang our research sudah kita boleh menjumpai molekul yang boleh increase annexin. Walaupun molekul ini adalah makanan lah, tidak dangerous. Ya. Soya milk ya. Di dalamnya mengandungi protein, cholesterol. This is we already test in the normal cell. In the normal cell, they increase the annexin better than dexamethasone. Dexamethasone as a positive control. So they have higher, but cholesterol higher than dexamethasone. So this is maybe the benefit we start for the preventive first lah. Try to adjust to the normal level. If there is someone that
less inflammation.
Soya dari tempe ya Bu.
Itulah I interest to determine ada berapa cholesterol and disease di dalam soya tu. Itu belum tahu lagi.
So yang ibu kata yang your research group dapati soya tu, what's the form of soya being introduced to the cell? Student boleh jawab kot. Student betul pula. No, this is just intellectual discussion. Yang
actually we purchase the pure compound, it's in powder form.
pure compound tu apa?
Pure
compound apa ni?
Kolesterol.
From the soybean.
Oh, kolesterol.
Tapi dia dapat
Dalam soybeans lah. Cuma tak tahu lah berapa dos dia kan. Nak kena consume. Kan 1 liter. Kan 10 liter baru dapat 1 dos. Oh my god. Baru naik 1 miligram.
40 microgram per meal. 40 microgram per meal.
Tapi talk about it
Untuk cell cancer, basal normal hanya 10 microgram per ml.
Yalah, tapi we are talking about that is a direct introduction of the chemical to the cells, you know. If you take orally, absorption, whatever,
Boleh dianggap komponya mahal murah. Kalau murah maknanya banyak dalam sumbernya. Kalau mahal sikit.
Cholesterol is around 3,000 for.
Mesti sikit dalam
macam tu? Harga dia? Oh tak apalah. Saya rasa tak apalah pakai ubat anti-cancer je.